Good morning everyone and welcome to our channel. This is Dee with D&D Gardening, and today is Sunday, April 6th, and it is 9:14 a.m. Y'all will not believe this. I have been up since 1 a.m. And part of that reason is because, you know, when you have something on your mind and you just can't let it go? Well, I had tomatoes on the brain last night, and I started doing some research this morning on the best ways to take care of tomatoes, how you, how you prune them, things like that. And yeah, I learned a lot. So I'll share what I learned with you, but I always advise, please do your own research. I am happy to share what I have, but I don't want anybody saying, oh, Dee told me to do this and it didn't turn out. No. This is just what I learned. So again, I advise do your own research, but I did find out that tomatoes, hang on, let me go get my book. Okay, now, I think I told everybody that when I first started gardening, I started writing things down because if I don't, I'll lose it because of my CRS.
Can't remember shit.
Yeah. So, what I did find out is, which I already knew, that there are two different types of tomatoes, determinate and indeterminate. And the indeterminate tomatoes are the ones that will continuously grow and constantly produce fruit until it's like the end of their season or the end of summer or whatever, however long tomatoes are supposed to last and continuously produce fruit. Those are indeterminate tomatoes. The determinate tomatoes are tomatoes that reach a certain size and they stop growing, they don't get any taller, and they produce all of their fruit at one time. And then after they've produced their fruit and you have harvested that fruit, that's the end of that tomato plant. It will not produce any more. With the indeterminate, you can pick, and it'll constantly produce fruit. So that is one thing that I made sure that I understood. I already knew the difference, but I wasn't aware that once the determinate tomatoes were finished with their producing, that was it. They weren't going to grow any taller and all that. So that's one thing I learned. The other thing that I learned is pruning. You can prune I almost said that wrong. You can prune the indeterminate tomatoes, and that is, remove some of the lower leaves so as you water them that the soil is not splashing up on the underleaves. And if you don't prune all of your leaves, including the suckers, you can continuously get fruit and the plant will be bushier, which means more limbs, more flowers, more fruit. With the determinate tomatoes, do not prune those, because once you've pruned them, you've kind of given the plant a notification that we're about to die. So don't prune me, because what you see is what you're going to get. Now, I do still recommend, though, that the lower leaves that is closest to the soil, remove those 2 or 3 little limbs, because like I said, you don't want the soil to splash up on the underside of the leaves. That way they are not, they won't get any type of diseases or whatever organisms are down in the soil doesn't get transferred up to the leaves. Okay, so that's one thing, or several things actually. Fertilizers. Tomatoes should be fertilized at different stages of their growth. And this is for determinate and indeterminate. When you're planting, make sure that you include a balanced fertilizer like a 10-10-10 or a, I think it was, what was the other one? it was a 10-10-10 and maybe a 5-10-10. Or if there are any fertilizers that you have found that specify that they are for tomatoes, then that's a good one, because it also includes calcium, which the tomatoes need in order to avoid having blossom end rot. And blossom end rot is where the bottom of the tomato, and it happens on squashes too, because I had some that were suffering from that last summer. And what blossom end rot is when the bottom of the tomato starts rotting and it turns black and nasty, and you can lose quite a few fruit because of blossom end rot. Let's see. Oh, once the plant starts setting fruit, you need to switch to a high potassium fertilizer to support the fruit production. Now, that is mostly for indeterminate tomatoes, because again, determinate tomatoes will they produce all their fruit and then that's it. So indeterminate tomatoes, switch to a high potassium, and that is once you have got them in the ground. And then you fertilize every 4 to 6 weeks, according to whatever the back of the fertilizer says is, how often you should fertilize them. But typically it's every 4 to 6 weeks. But you have to be careful not to over fertilize, which I have a tendency to do, because over fertilizing can lead to, you can get a real big lush plant, but you won't get any fruit. So don't over fertilize. Let's see, what else did I put on here? Okay, it says for fruiting plants, and that's, any plant that produces a fruit: squash, zucchini, cucumbers, peppers, those are fruiting plants. It's important to have adequate phosphorus for good root development and potassium for fruit production. It says, and along with a moderate amount of nitrogen to help support the leafy growth. So you want to have more potassium and more phosphorus once your plant starts producing fruit, because that kicks it in and tells it to produce more fruit. And let's see. I already told you about the fertilizers with that are specified for tomatoes, and you do it every 4 to 6 weeks according to whatever it says that whatever the package says. And you have to make sure that you water it thoroughly when you're adding your fertilizers. That way you want the fertilizers to start going down into the soil, but you don't want to just lightly water it. You need to give it a good soak. That way the fertilizer is seeping into the soil, going down with the water, and the tomatoes can absorb that fertilizer. So those were my notes on tomatoes. Another reason why I needed to find out about tomatoes was because I didn't know which one of my tomatoes are indeterminate and determinate. Even though it said it on the back of the seed packet, I didn't pay attention to that. I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't pay attention to it. Last summer, like I said, I didn't get any tomatoes, and I think it was because I started them way too late. But I got no tomatoes, so I had no idea. Since I didn't get any tomatoes, I thought I had just completely failed, and I just brushed it off and was like, okay, no tomatoes. This time, however, I am trying to make sure that I know as much information as I can get, because I want a successful harvest. I haven't had enough coffee, y'all. Because we don't eat tomatoes like that. unless they're green tomatoes and we fry them. But I want to start making my own tomato paste, tomato sauce, salsa, you know, things that you use tomatoes for. I want to start doing those on my own instead of having to go to the grocery store to buy them. Yeah, so that's enough of my notes. Another reason why I did some, I was thinking of tomatoes is because now I'm getting ready to upplant the little seedlings that I have in here. Now, I'm doing succession planting. Yeah, because I only have 2 tomatoes that I am growing that are that are determinate. And I put my notes away, y'all. I know one is the Amish paste and the Roma, and I have this super sauce hybrid that is a determinate. So I'm only growing 2 determinate tomatoes and the rest are indeterminate. But I still planted more of the indeterminate tomatoes as well, because I did give a lot of them away, but that was because they had gotten so big that I just, my bed is full now, and I just didn't have the space for them, and they weren't lasting. They weren't doing very well left in the in these little pots that I had them in. So I gave a lot of them away, and a lot of them kind of went and passed on. So if these do well, they will go into buckets or grow bags or wherever I can put them. Because I want tomatoes. Like I said, we don't eat tomatoes like that, but I have plans for those tomatoes. So that's what I plan to do. So I've already got my tags made and my soil and compost and all of my fertilizers added into my little thingy here that's holding my soil. And all I got to do now is mix it up and start up potting. So come along with me. Okay. If I can get in my seat. And hopefully you can see me.
I miss that sexy smile, looking forward to see you. I hope I will lose control. Love you every night, no checking the time, 'cause I was loving you all night long. I can let you go, baby, it's done right, we already know. And we feel it. I really do, I said the truth, we can't go any road. Need you now. I'm your queen and you the king right now. It's a kingdom, let's play it how you like. How does it make you feel? Or you wanna change? I'll be whatever, what you like. We can dance, you got to move tonight. Stars are watching us in the sky. I wanna last it forever. It's a sexy smile, looking forward to see you. I hope I won't lose control.
And this is for those people who don't know that you can plant tomatoes deep. You see how close that is to the top? That's how deep I'm planting them. This one, oh yeah, you're good. You can go in one. I don't know if anybody else does this, but if I see a seed still on the leaf, I pull it off as gently as I can. That way I'm not damaging the plant. And it worked. Okay. Me putting my finger in there is just not working, so we're gonna do it this way. And then I can hold the leaf and get it in there. Yeah, that was so much better. And I think I put like 2 seeds in every cell. And some I got a lot of germination on and some I did not. Alright, that is all the way down. Another way you can do it is just tap the pot and the soil will go around it. Okay, this one is ready. Where's that other one? I see it. Something was wrong with him. He didn't come out the seed fully. I thought I had 5 San Marzanos. Whoops. I need another tag. Okay. So I got 5 San Marzanos. I'm going to leave this one because he doesn't have his true leaf yet, or true leaves. But this is the one that I was talking about that didn't come completely out of, oh, what is that? Yep, that's a seed. Okay, you see how it was growing and it's got a little root on it, but the very tip of it, the seed is still stuck on it. It didn't completely come out. So this isn't a viable tomato seed. Whoa, how did I leave you? Okay, hang on. I need one more label. Because I'm going to plant that one. He's standing up all proud. Oh, I gotta plant him first. Don't you wish you could just say, okay, get in here, and it do all the other, the rest of the work? He's a big one. Now I'm being gentle as I push down on those roots because I don't want them to separate. And because this one is so much taller, and this is the deepest pot that I have, with the exception of those black ones that I bought. So Mr. San Marzano is going to have to handle that for a bit. Okay, now I'm on the Amish paste.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe. It only takes a couple of clicks. Thank you.
Okay, those were the 2 I was going to, how many? 4? Yep. 4 Amish paste that I'm doing, and you notice I left the tags in this time so I don't forget what's what, and have some secret potatoes. Why do I keep calling tomatoes potatoes? And yes, I call potatoes tomatoes. I'm all confused. They shouldn't sound so much alike. And they taste nothing similar. Not at all. Okay, this is Cherokee Purple. And this is my first year growing these, or trying to anyway. Ugh, my gloves are muddy. No, I think I'm gonna take these two. I do like this burpee seed tray because you can push it up from the bottom. Versus squeezing that little, I don't know what it is, plastic, nylon, something. Oh, aww, I'm sorry, I broke some of you off. We're still doing Cherokee purple. So who's next on deck? Looks like you two. If I can just make sure that I'm grabbing you two and not somebody else. Okay. Let's see if I try to separate you by the soil and see if that works out better. No, not really. Your little roots seem to be in that, so I'll let it stay. You just go on in there. I did not know the street was this dang busy this early in the morning. See, I almost forgot you. You need to start yelling. Don't be so quiet. Okay. So I've got them all up potted. Let me zoom out. And of course they look all flopped over, but they'll pick up or perk up once they get a little bit more water. And I'm going to add a fish fertilizer, the 511, in here as well, since they have not been fertilized as of yet. So those are the tomatoes that I just up potted. Oh, some of them. The rest are over here. Now, those are ground cherries that need to go in the ground. And let me show y'all my corn. Look, that's the golden bantam. More came up, so I am so pleased with that. And here's the Aunt Vero's white corn, standing all nice and tall and pretty. Ooh, I'm so excited. So excited about my corn. Tokyo Cross, these are turnips. They need to be planted, not up potted, but planted. And these are my winter squash, the mashed potato variety of them. And they need to be planted, not up potted. I'm still working on my little grandfather sweet pepper, waiting on those to get true leaves, and it looks like they're trying to come through, but just not yet. But I'm excited about these Tokyo Cross turnips, and I need to plant other turnips too. So I need to get these in their little designated area, which is going to be a cement tray. These aren't the daikon radishes that get like super long. These are just your regular turnip. They're just a little bit bigger. So that's what this variety is, and so they will go in a cement tray. The other purple top white globe turnips that I have not planted yet will go in another cement tray. So that's what will be in those two cement trays are my turnips. So yeah, but my corn, y'all, we gonna get some corn. We're gonna get some corn. Now, I'm saying that, and they may not make it, but we're gonna hope for the best. My sweet potato slips are doing a lot better. The ones that I had the sweet potato slips had gotten so long that they had vined themselves around my grow shelves. So I cut them down, and I cut them down to these little lengths. And this is the one that I have that contains the cut downs. And I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can zoom in, but there are roots in there now. So that is absolutely wonderful, because they didn't have roots in the beginning. These were just the tops of the ones that did have the roots in the water. And like I got a ton of roots there and a ton of roots there. So I'm ready for some sweet taters, y'all. And then I've got my, down here, I'm just gonna have to let Long Red Cayenne go, because he's struggling way too much. And I didn't want to give him away because he was struggling. My Carnival is not doing so well. My California Wonder is doing okay. That heirloom bell pepper, I just, no. And I see you, Nat, go on up to the light. Go to the light. All are welcome. That was creepy, I'm sorry. That straight neck squash, he's getting buds. So him need to go outside too. Sorry, that was all sideways. And I'm gonna put these two kale plants in the Georgia collard bed. That's what I've decided. Am I sitting down too low? Okay, so thank you for joining me while I up-potted my tomatoes, and I hope that what I learned about tomatoes and shared with you is helpful to you. But again, do your own research, because you may find out something else that I might have missed. So this is how we help each other. So anyway, thank you for joining me. If this is your first time or your 5th time visiting our channel or watching one of our videos, hit the subscribe button. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified the next time we upload a video. And always remember, grow your own, eat your own. And until I see you the next time, take care. Bye.
Hit the like button, share the videos, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.